Hello, this is Crypto CJ. This is the trade of the day, the Friday afternoon Zoom edition. Bitcoin has had a small recovery this week, over 20,000, over 21,000, even hit 22K a couple times today. That might be some resistance at this point. Let's go to the chart. Okay, you should be seeing my Bitcoin day chart.
We are.
Very well. Okay, so I bumped my line down to 19K after last week's dip, but that has been holding. So that's good news. And we have this trend up here that I just talked about. On the weekly, we're in danger of closing with a green candle. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Actually, I can't remember. Does the week close on Saturday or Sunday?
I thought it was Sunday.
Yeah, I think you're right. So Sunday at UTC 0. So it'd be nice to have a weekly close in the green for Bitcoin. Despite that, if you go to the news tab, it's all bad. But there was one I liked. Yeah, this one. Bitcoin outperforms gold by a wide margin after a strong week. So I'd really like to see Bitcoin become digital gold for real. Hasn't really happened yet, but maybe someday. So good news. I do think overall on Bitcoin, nice recovery this week. I've gone back to what I like to do is more of a dip trading approach, and we'll see how that holds up. And let's see, Ethereum has been holding at about it's been over 1,200 last couple of days. I've got my line here at 1050, and that's been holding as support. Again, I'd really like to see that hold up and move up from there with a strong pump to 1,500, 2,000 where it needs to go. And then finally, I've got the USDT chart up here on the 8-hour. We do have the debacle back from May when UST crashed and burned. But USDT made a nice recovery. It's had a few blips here and there, both up and down. Currently holding at 0.9994. So I think USDT looks pretty good for our trading pairs. There has been some news, some FUD saying that it's in trouble. There was even some news about USDC also being in trouble, but no real evidence of that as far as we know. Okay, Frankie's on board. Hello, Frankie, and we got Tom from Sydney. Good to be. Welcome aboard.
Good to be here, CJ. Thanks.
Yeah, good to have you, buddy. Yeah, we need to get together for lunch soon. One of my local connections.
Give me a couple weeks.
Okay.
All right. Sorry.
All right. So that's the market overall that I see. Any questions, comments, or discussion you guys want to have about the market overall?
I've been coming across a bit of stuff recently that the market makers or the big boys manipulate the price a lot more than we're aware of. And that news items don't necessarily cause the coin to change, but they use those events to create the changes.
Yeah, I've tried to think like a whale. It's like if I was a whale and I had a group of whales and we were just in our whale hangout doing whale type things, it seems like you'd want to let the price pump at some point. So you can, because presumably if whales have bought down, Bitcoin down below 20K and Ethereum below 1,000, and they want to offload this stuff at some point. So one would think they would allow the market to pump up and maybe that'll be the rest of the summer, who knows? But I tend to agree with you, Craig. I don't know what the extent is, but I think it's significant. And insider trading is not illegal in crypto. So, there's no board or anything like that, board of crypto governing such things. So It is
Yeah.
intriguing.
So what I heard was they let the order book build up to a certain value, and then they'll crash it to clean it out, and then they'll buy in at that lower point.
They'll let the what go up?
The order book. So the number of
Order
trades
book.
that are
Okay. Well, you said
the number-
Autobot. What?
no, the order book. So the
Order
number
book.
of trades that are in place that they can liquidate, because when they liquidate it, they can transfer those funds to themselves.
Lovely. Yeah, I've
Just another-
reduced leverage in my trading for you know, a lot of reasons. One's because I'm not entirely sure what this market's going to do, but maybe you know you have a couple of liquidations, it'll humble you quickly as a trader. All right, any other questions or comments on the market overall before we look at Altcoin Alert? Let's see, what can we find in Altcoin Alert? Okay, I've got the altcoin radar values going. That gives me all the values. On the AA score, that's the first thing I look at. Looking for 80 or better, very bullish. We've got none of those today. That's unfortunate. So there's really nothing in here in this bullish list I want to look at. So then I go to my secondary sorts. I was using the long-term sentiment a lot, and then matching it up with the elder impulse, the long-term sentiment, what people are talking about, what's on Twitter. So when I get a very bullish or a bullish, and I can match it up with this elder impulse daily, which is a technical indicator, kind of like the MACD, and incorporates momentum and some other values. So when I see something like this, that's bullish on the sentiment and bullish on the elder impulse daily, I want to look at that. So that Uniswap and Quant both both qualify for that. I've got those charts up, so we'll check them out. Let's go to Uniswap first. Okay, we'll start with the day chart. And this one's been beaten down. This is like a broken record anymore. Since the fall of last year, a lot of these coins have lost 80 to 90%. And Uni's down 87. And a slight bump up this week. Let's see, this one's up. Since the end of the month, it's up 26%. We like that. Go to the 5-minute chart. Can we find something to trade today? I don't. Yeah, it's right sitting on the SMA line, right between the Bollinger Bands. It's my least favorite place to go in on the 5-minute chart. I'd rather be in a dip sequence, something like this, that's coming back, something like this, coming back. Let's get rid of divergence for the moment. Don't really have a good example of a 1, 2, 3 dip. That just went 1 and then bounced back, kind of like a dead cat bounce. In this example here, earlier today. And then this dip sequence, we never really got a bubble. Got a couple dips here in the squeeze area, 1 in a bubble and then shot up. So don't really have any good dip sequences here to show you. So where do we want to get in on this? We've got some short-term support here, about 570. Again here at about 560, and again here at about 550. So those are 3 options of where you might want to get in over the weekend. If we have we tend to have lower volume over the weekends. So sometimes those are good times to get in on dip trades. So those are options to set your price alerts. Right click, add alert. 555. I like to put whatever information source guided me to this. It's Elder Impulse sort, probably the one I use. And that would be how you do that. But I don't use price alerts that much. I prefer indicator alerts on the 15-minute charts. So I'm going to pop over to the 15-minute. And I also like to incorporate divergence. Quick recap, divergence is the disagreement between the price action and the indicators. Let's see. I saw Craig shared my favorite divergence indicator recently on a call. Thanks for doing that. This is the one I like, divergence from any indicators, version 4. And download that and you'll get, you know, this kind of thing. I think the colors are different. I made the colors red and green. That's my preference. So when this alert goes off, that's a sign that the price is due for a reversal. Doesn't always work, say 60, 70% of the time. As you can see on this chart, on the 15-minute, you know, we had the, and this can make adjustments also. Like this RSI could have print up here, and then if the divergence is still active, it'll move over here. So your entry, if you got in on the first one, it's not as good. So this isn't a perfect indicator by any means, but it does let you know when divergences are happening, and you can, you know, reevaluate when that happens. But at least on the ones that are permanently printed, you know, these are pretty good entries on Uniswap. If you've gotten in on this one, you know, 2.3% in, you know, less than an hour, we like that. This one here, it's not cooperating. You know, shoots up, you know, 4.5%, 4.5 hours. That's a really good day trade. This one from this morning, you know, to the SMA lines, 3%. So if you waited longer to the top of the Bollinger Band, you know, 5% in 6-7 hours, you know, it's a really good day trade. So divergence came in pretty handy there. I don't think it's as reliable as these alerts here on the MFI and the RSI. On the MFI, it didn't quite make it down to 20, which is considered the oversold area, but it did make it down to the 20s, like 25, 22, and these are all pretty good entries here. If you've gotten in on this one, that's over 30. This is a better example here, about 29. That would have been pretty good entry, 4.5%. This one here is another good one. You know, it's aligned with that divergence we just talked about. So what I would do on this one is add an alert on the MFI, crossing up. And my default is usually 20. I'm gonna go up to 25 on this one because of those examples I just showed you. Once per bar close, that's important. And then again, that's gonna be my elder impulse sort, so. And you can do, if you prefer the RSI, you can do the same thing on the RSI. Right click, add your alert, crossing up. 30 is the default. I don't really see any that didn't quite make it down and then bounce back. So 30, and it only triggered once in the time frame I'm showing you this time here. So I think the MFI would be a better option for this coin. All right, so that's my plan on Uni. Any questions on this one before we look at another one? All right, let's look at that quant token. This was the other one that had the Altcoin Alert long-term sentiment and the technical indicator as well, elder impulse. So let's see, day chart. So I remember this one over 300 because I was over back here before it was listed on Coinbase. I was trying to get it for 50. Never succeeded. So it shot up to 300, 400 even in the fall. And then big drop, 90%, coming back. On the hour. In July, it's up 50%, like that, 5 minute. And Yeah, we're a bit late on this one. This one had a little bit of a dip. Yeah, it just went down one dip and then shot up. So sometimes on those, I'll look at the MACD, look for a cross. If it's something dips, once or twice and not a third time. If I get a MACD cross, then that can be a good time to get into. So to the SMA line on that scenario would have been 1.5%. To this resistance here, 2.7%. You'd have hit that about here. 2.5 hours later, that's pretty good. If you're looking to try to get to the top of the Bollinger Band, it's kind of aggressive, 4%, but you would have been rewarded about 4 hours later with 4%. So those are potential dip trade scenarios that could play out. And regarding short-term resistance, if you want to do a price alert, there's some support here at 67.40. Some more here, right around 62.45. And then the dip was down to $60.75 or so. So those would be pretty good entries if this structure holds up. Otherwise, we go to our 15-minute chart. And the only significant dip on the MFI, we've got a couple similar to Uni. This one's a really good one here to catch. This one just did hit the 20. And this one, these two don't quite hit the 20, but drop down to about 25 on the MFI. So that would not qualify. This one would. So that would have been a pretty good entry. About 2%, 4 hours, not bad. Hold a little longer, 4 to 5% in 10 hours. Got this entry here. Get in right about here, 1.72 to the Bollinger Band would have been 2.33. And you have gotten that about 12 hours later. Not bad. And then it makes a big pump from there, but there's really nothing to tell us that's going to happen. So that's kind of random. And then the MFI and the RSI alerts would be like I showed you on Uni. And divergence. We haven't had bullish divergence for a few, since the 6th. So obviously those played out pretty well, in the next day or two. Okay, any questions on Quant? This is the Coinbase Pro chart. All right, see if we can find something else. Okay, this one's DyDX I've traded before, OGN and Numer. Numer we've looked at a few times, or at least once, maybe twice over the last month or so. But let's look at DyDX. I don't think we've looked at that one on this program. No, that one's on Bybit and Binance. Okay, this one looks like all the others over $26, and well, that's an easy math. That's 90% loss on the 1 hour. These charts are all looking the same. 65% last week. It's quite the move. Okay, going into kind of a squeeze here. Oh. But again, sitting on the SMA line. So not a real good entry. Support See some right about here at $2.10. Again here at about $1.96. And again here at about $1.90. So those are 3 areas of support in the short term. On our 15-minute chart alerts, a really good divergence in trigger here. 13%, love that. I wouldn't have been that ambitious. Might have gone to where this resistance was. Picked up 6%. This one was another good one. 6%. And this one here, about 2.3. And again, looks like the MFI is being a little more sensitive than the RSI. We've got this entry here, that's good. This entry here, not so good, but still would have been profitable had you held on. And this one's probably, yeah, it's out of the range. If you go to if you use your 25 value, you might have caught this one. So again, your MFI and your RSI alerts, probably the way to go to get better entries this weekend. Okay, I guess I'm being repetitive here. Any questions on DyDX? DyDX, I'm not sure what people call this one. Okay, we'll look at one more and then we'll wrap it up. Let's do the 24-hour change sort. Or we could do, since we're going into the weekend, let's look for something to short. So we can do that a couple of ways. We can go to our AA score and look for a bad score. We've got Keep Network, Alice, Mina are all, these are all, bearish at the moment. Bearish pretty much all over the place. Let's look at Alice. Okay, well, we know the drill on the day chart and the hour chart. It's been trending up, but not as much as some of the others. Yeah, it's up about 10% this month, where the others were 20 and 30%. 5-minute. Looking for a 1, 2, 3 pump. Something up here. But we don't have that yet. So you might want to, if you want to short this, I want to try to catch it here at the top of the Bollinger Band. You want to catch your shorts at resistance instead of support. So that would be one entry at 240, another one here, maybe 238.5. Some more resistance here at about 237. Well, we're at that now. So yeah, you want to, I think this 240 area would be a good one to get in if you're using your price alerts. On our indicators, we're gonna do the opposite of what we've been looking for. Put divergence back on. And the bearish divergences have done pretty well. The last few of them, well, that one went sideways. It took a while. Those two didn't do much, but the most recent one did. Nice drop down to 5%. We just had one, about an hour ago. So this one might be a good one to get in. It did drop about 1% and then go up a little bit. So yeah, this one might be good to go. It's not perfect, but something to keep an eye on. And your MFI and your RSI, kind of similar to the divergence we looked at. The MFI here did not do that well. And get this one. We're not sure about that one yet. These didn't quite make it to the zone. We're looking for on the MFI 80 or above, and then crossing down on 80. So probably I go with the divergence alert. That's easy to do. Negative divergence detected. If you want to go positive divergence on something else, those are your options here. Once per bar close is important because it will repaint if the candle hasn't closed. And then this is our, I usually put AA score, AA 30 or whatever it was, would be the one to go. And then your MFI alert, if you want to do that instead, or use this for confirmation, it's be crossing down on 80. Once per bar close. On the RSI, add alert on RSI, crossing down 70. Once per bar close, and call it what you will. Okay, any questions on shorting Alice? Every time I see this coin, I think of Alice on Brady Bunch. Yeah, I'm that old. 70s sitcoms. Okay, let's see, it's 3:30 now. We're in for about half an hour. Let's do one more and we'll wrap it up. Let's do our 24-hour change. And we'll look at these sometimes to find something that's really been beaten down, but might be a quality project that should recover. Arweave synthetics. RSR would probably qualify. I traded RSR a while ago. Let's look at that one. Well, it's down since the fall on the hour. Not doing as well as the others. From July 1st, it's up. It's only up about 5% when the others were up quite a bit more than that. In the 5-minute, it's just into the squeeze. So yeah, really, it's not even 2% between the Bollinger Bands. So not much going on with this one at the moment. So again, this is going to be your price alerts. Pretty good support here at 0.7 cents. Now on the 15-minute, let's look at divergence real quick. If you think it's going to go down further, since it's already been beaten down, you could go to your bearish divergence. If you think it's going to come back, your bullish one, this one did okay. 2.9% in an hour and a half. This one just went sideways and then down. So this one did not do that well. Yeah, you'd still be in that trade. And then obviously you have your MFI and your RSI alerts. Looks like the MFI is a bit more sensitive, so you might want to go that route with the type of alerts we talked about on the other coins. Okay. Okay, Frankie's talking about a 5K. I think he's making a reference to my my lunch request. No worries, Frank. And then Chuck's got a question. Look at Matic, and yeah, he messaged me. He's been trading this with some success. So let's look at Matic real quick. So Chuck, are you out there? Can you jump on and talk about this trade?
Yeah, I've actually been watching. They had some good news this week. I can't even remember what the news was, but just, you know, trading the dips and up and down and playing it both ways. So I've had a pretty decent week just watching Matic.
All right, playing the range. Yeah, there was
Yes.
some news on Matic.
Polygon, really.
Yeah, I've always called it Matic, and I know it's Polygon, but
Yeah.
why isn't there, maybe the Poly something already existed as a ticker, but all right, so they're doing something with NFTs or avatars, but there was something a lot more.
There was something, I can't remember exactly, but it's been up and it's been following Bitcoin, you know, exactly whatever Bitcoin is doing.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be nice to see if some of these could break away from Bitcoin consistently, but since Bitcoin's trending up this week, it's good news. So let's look at, say, a 30-minute chart. Let's get rid of this. So are you, so this goes back to the 4th. It had, you know, resistance here at right around 53 cents. Did have higher lows. So any of these would have been good entries, obviously, if you're trading the range. Then it made a big jump here. So if you're in a short here, you're in trouble. But if you're doing longs, then, you know, there were some nice entries and exits on this chart. It's not really how I trade necessarily, but I know people have success trading, you know, trading ranges. I've dabbled with it, but you know, I didn't care for it for me. But yeah, I can see how people would want to trade this way, and it might even be the most appropriate way for this market. So
Yeah, just been sniping. That's it.
so what comes into play, or what comes into play for you to make an entry? Are you setting like support and resistance lines, or just kind of eyeballing it, or what you doing?
I've been doing that and watching the Bollinger Bands. You know, if it gets to the top, I take a short down. And yeah, I've missed a lot as well. I mean, it's just been, I do some range trading also. And, you know, it has just been a volatile ride up and down. So, you know, buy low, sell high, you know, and, you know, buy high, sell low, you know, on the short side. But it's been fun. The week.
What time frame are you looking at?
15 minutes.
All right. So, you know, we haven't talked about Bollinger Band alerts, but you can do that. So you can right click on a Bollinger Band.
And then I have, I don't know all of the indicators, but when I see you have something, or I see Kevin get something, I get it. And so I watch, I probably have MFI and the RSI, and I watch it go up and down. So, you know, it's been, while I've been whittling my thumbs.
Understood. And then quickly, a Bollinger Band alert I find is a little different. Instead of going to, you know, immediately the indicator, I select the coin for the condition. What I want it to do, which would be, I want this to cross up on the bottom Bollinger Band on the 15-minute chart. So crossing up is one of the options here. And then I choose Bollinger Band here instead of on the condition. And then it'll give me a basis, upper or lower. So on this one, I want it to cross up on the lower. If I'm shorting it, I want to cross down on the upper. And then those are two separate alerts. So
Wow.
yeah,
Thanks.
Yeah, did you follow that, or did I go too fast?
I'll watch the replay.
Okay. It'll be towards the end. So, all right. So that's yeah, how you put alerts on Bollinger Bands. And you know, that's what I would do for range trading. See on the chat. Nicole's pointing out a dip trade on XMR. We like that. Let's check that out. Let's see, is Bitcoin dipping? Not really, but XMR is one of those coins that will have a mind of its own from time to time. I think she's right. So we've got, this is textbook. 1, 2. Don't really count this one since it's kind of on the you know, transition between the squeeze and the bubble. So we got a 1, a 2. So if this goes up and breaks down again, if a 1, 2, 3 dip entry on you know, probably hit here around 126, 127 area. Then if you see a green candle going up from there, that's your entry on a 1, 2, 3 dip. So good call, Nicole. My only reservation on this is it's Friday afternoon in the US, you know, Friday night in the East, in, you know, eastern part of the country, and then it's in the middle of the night and or very early in the morning in Asia and the rest of the world that trades a lot of crypto. So I might be a little hesitant to take a dip trade at this particular time in fear of it might go lower with the lower volume over the weekend. But yeah, that's a good catch, and you know, you guys might want to keep an eye on that one. Okay. Well, that's about all I have for Altcoin Alert. Any other coins you guys want to talk about, or anything you want to go over before we wrap it up? Alrighty then. For those of you watching on the recording, thanks for doing that. Please check out the opportunities in the comments below. And for those of you here live, I appreciate you showing up. If you're interested in carbon, please stick around. We'll start that webinar shortly, or that Zoom call shortly. Have a good one. Bye.